And so in the intellectual arena, LeBron's a coward. And that is part of why he's diminishing himself by trying to be more than an athlete. I love that show, but I think like any responsible partner with the NBA or partner with the NFL or any of these sports leagues, there are still places they can't go.
Yeah.
And one of the places they can't go that is like we're going today. Barkley, I believe, knows it. Kenny Smith, Shaq knows it. That LeBron James has diminished the game of basketball. That should be being discussed on ESPN, on TNT, that is his real legacy. That's what really disqualifies him from the whole Michael Jordan conversation. He did not elevate the game. He did this attempt to elevate himself to Muhammad Ali status and started, I'm more than an athlete. Again, this is stupid. The whole I'm more than an athlete, this thing I do here isn't that important. And there's truth to that. But LeBron James as an athlete shouldn't be selling that message because you want people. And the reason why people paid so much attention to Hank Aaron when he's pursuing Babe Ruth or Tiger Woods going after Jack Nicklaus is because Tiger Woods felt like it's the most important thing on the planet. Hank Aaron felt like it was the most important. They weren't trying to be more than an athlete. They wanted you to celebrate them as athletes, and we did. LeBron has pivoted this whole thing into, and again, even Muhammad Ali, I'm telling you, he wanted to be celebrated as the greatest boxer of all time, and that would cement his legacy and allow him to have a platform to do whatever he wanted post-career or whatever, where LeBron has demanded that we focus on things that he's not very good at. The guy is great at dunking the basketball. Have us focus on that. Talking, making articulate arguments, producing movie and TV shows. He's in the bottom 10% at all those things. But he wants us to focus on that rather than the one thing that he and only 3 or 4 other people on the planet have ever been able to reach his level. That's how I say he's undermined the game and undermined all these athletes. They have us thinking about things that they're not very good at.
Well, a couple things. People need to put away the Muhammad Ali comparison. Until you are an athlete at the very top of your sport, the way Muhammad Ali was by the time he was just absolutely putting on brilliant performances against the likes of Cleveland Williams and Ernie Terrell, and then basically have 3 years of your physical apex ripped away, and then become an activist where he's actually on the speaking circuit, not only to spread the message, but also to make a living, to be quite frank. It's just not an applicable comparison in my view. It's very cheap, and it actually stains the legacy of Muhammad Ali, whether you agree or disagree with any of his stances. Also, if you're going to be an activist, your intellectual capabilities have to be higher than just average. I am not saying that LeBron is a dumb individual, but he's far from Mensa.
I am.
Okay, you are. You can go there. You know what?
Yeah.
Let's be honest. I don't think he's that smart either. I really don't. There's a lot of other athletes that I would listen to before him. Now, I think he's a brilliant basketball player. That there's never been a guy this late into his career that's been that good. That even though, if let's say he's lost an inch off his fastball, he is still among the very best basketball players in the world. I've said at his best, he's a rare blend of Michael Jordan and Magic Johnson. And it's incredible his overall floor game. However, that's the most appealing part of him. See, you're right about being more than an athlete. It got me thinking, Jason, as I'm listening to you. Somewhere along the way, a couple of years ago, the most empty thing you can do in modern day activism is, quote unquote, like I told you, bring awareness. Okay, so athletes are bringing an awareness to whatever cause they want, right? Here's the question, though. does that mean as the public, because someone, quote unquote, brings awareness, that we have to agree? See, that to me is where the public and has to stand up, and also the mainstream media, which is absolutely gutless, will never actually push back and say, yeah, that stance that you're taking, do we have the right to disagree with it? See, that's the thing about Ali. Whatever stance he took, there was actually vociferous opposition. I mean, there are certain writers, like I believe Jimmy Cannon and Red Smith, they were really anti-Ali. And whether you agree or disagree with them, they had a right and they had the guts to state it. And Larry Merchant tells me all the time that when it came to Ali in that particular era, during his exile and a year or two after, that there was a real divide among the media, whether you were pro-Ali or anti-Ali. And to me, that's healthy. Now you're telling both sides of the story. But nowadays, if any athlete takes a knee, has a hashtag, raises a fist, and brings awareness, it's almost like they expect everyone to be in lockstep with them. And my view is you are absolutely allowed to bring awareness. And I'm absolutely allowed to not give a damn or disagree.
My problem with LeBron as an activist is, and particularly as it relates to Muhammad Ali, is like LeBron loves to shadow box. And what you're basically arguing about Ali is that he went out and actually sparred with his critics. Yes. That he went to hostile environments and confronted people that disagreed with him and sparred with them. LeBron shadow boxes. He'll go sit down in front of Don Lemon or some other fluffer interviewer that will basically co-sign anything he says and won't push back in any real way. And the questions are agreed upon and no one ever challenges. He shadow boxes. Shadow boxing is one of the safest things you can do. It's great exercise. I've done it. But you never get hit in the mouth. You never get challenged. You never get any stronger. And it's a sign when you see somebody that calls themselves a boxer and all they do is shadow box, eventually you go, you know what, this dude's afraid to fight. He's a coward. And so in the intellectual arena, LeBron's a coward. And that is part of why he's diminishing himself by trying to be more than an athlete. He's not built for these other things that he's trying to do. His great basketball skill is why they put on The Shop and these other things he's produced. But those shows are absolute garbage. If we lived in a different time, he could be criticized, no different than the way Magic Johnson was. I look and laugh at someone like Howard Stern, who crushed Magic Johnson for the Magic Hour TV show. And if that happened today, Howard Stern would be celebrating Magic and talking about how great it was. And you know what? They just need to put a little closed caption box translating Magic. He's fine. And if you can't understand what Magic is saying, it doesn't make sense, it's because you're racist. This is a great TV show. That's what someone like Howard Stern would be saying today, where back in the day, he actually kept it real, and no one can keep it real with LeBron. Awesome basketball player. Let me enjoy that, LeBron. Grant Hill, Isaiah Thomas, some of these other guys, they're actually smart. Let them carry the smart basketball torch.